What's going on TikTok? So today I scrolled on TikTok briefly and I already saw more than a few videos where people were talking about Hurricane Helen DeGeneres, whatever, however you pronounce it, and how they feel the hurricane was manipulated and changed route purposely to affect East Tennessee and West North Carolina, according to the plan of the government and how they wanted to destroy that region strategically. I'm going to give my 2 cents and share with you what I know and what I've experienced. So, this green screen behind me is from a YouTube video that I made this year in February. This gentleman here is Mr. George. He is a farm owner of a farm over in West North Carolina. I'm not going to disclose the name of the farm because I know it was affected. However, the thing is, he shared with me out of his mouth, right, how since he's been in power and the owner of his farm and running things as top dog, blue collar men, men with money, groups of men, people, whatever, high power people have come to him for his farm, trying to come for his farm, persuading him to sell his farm, part of his farm, the whole 4,000 acres, right? Yes, I did say 4,000 acres. I went on a tour and saw maybe half of it, but it was a lot of farm, y'all. When I tell y'all it was a lot, like I have a whole vlog on it. It was a lot of farmland, and I promise you, I only saw maybe half of it. And he took me around his ATV and I saw so much of his farm. And he also shared with me a lot of the things on that farm that were valuable, not just the cattle, the buffalo, the goats, but the soil, the herbs, the vegetation on his farm that those guys wanted to get their hands on. And there's certain things, and he showed me and shared with me why those people would come time and time again trying to get his farmland, trying to get him to sell away parts of his farm, if not all of it. And not just since he's been in power, but for generations, this has been happening because his farm has been in his family for generations, right? So George was standing his own. He was sharing with me and how they were just relentless and they would come and they would try to do that. But the thing is, I know for a fact that this storm was manipulated to affect Tennessee and North Carolina, the West North Carolina, in the way that it was, because yes, there's a lot of people in those regions or in that region that don't want to sell their land, that have refused to sell the land, give away their land, um, sign contracts, and all those things to take away their power to then give it to those that want their land because there's some valuable things that we don't know. In addition to the fact that people just don't want to sell their family farm, their family land, something that's been precious to their family for generations. But there's other things we don't know, right? But the thing is, the question that people have is why would the government manipulate a storm to destroy land they want in the first place? The reason why is because the at the point of that land being destroyed, they can then, as the government, write that land off as non-livable. They can tarnish that land's value after it being destroyed and washed away of its cattle and of its rich soil, topsoil, and it being destroyed of the things that make it as valuable as it is. They can fix it so that land is made as non-livable and make those people leave or try to manipulate those people at that point of saying, hey, since your everything is gone and your land is just no longer what it was, we need you to go, or we recommend, we highly suggest that you go. And then what they're going to try to do, probably pay those people off, or through insurance claims, pay those people off so they didn't go. And it's a strategic plan of the government at this point to do that because if people are not giving up their land willingly, what else are you going to do? What else does anyone in power do that's evil and an elite as such when they can't get people to do things willingly? They take it by force. So this is what's going on. This is why we're having this talk about this hurricane and it destroying the parts strategically of North Carolina that it has, as well as Tennessee. Why not Charlotte? Why not the East North Carolina? Why not north of North Carolina? It strategically hit West North Carolina and only West. The storm last minute changed direction to hit East Tennessee and West North Carolina when it was going away from it. Why? Because it was strategically done by the government to affect that part and that region of the East Coast.